Action in rack 2.
Another solid break there from Chang.
Well, these two have proved themselves to be two of the best, but who's going to be the very best? We're soon going to find out. At the moment, Chang leads it 1-0, and he's settling into this second rack. Well, thanks to Steve Davis for joining us. Let's go to our commentary team now of Jim Weish and Sid Waddell.
Thank you, Johnny. Well, total turn-up for the book for my money, the way Bustamante was playing, that one I'd only heard of. Efren Reyes had seen him earlier this week do an 8-string against Suker, and he had trouble after that with his break, but he really glued Busty to the seat. And welcome all our viewers in Manila, the millions, who will now be off their seats presumably, as the maestro, Efren Reyes batter. Gather that's a reference to a previous Efren Reyes, who was a brilliant pool player. Efren Reyes revered by everybody in the world. In fact, nearly half the people who came here had him as their icon on their programs. And we had the greats here: Strickland, Archer, Davenport, Suke and Ortman. So all the people in the Philippines will be now on the edge of their seats to see if the maestro can get rolling like he did against Bustamante, Jim.
Yes, well, his first real look in here, simply by virtue of a very bad miss by Chang. But again, Steve Davis very notably pointed out, if there are going to be any chinks in the armor, it might be the early nerves displayed by Chang, as we again see that good pop by Reyes, and how important it is for Efren to establish himself in this match.
And one factor that did emerge from his previous game against Bustamante, he played a brilliant snooker early on the blue, but then about 7 racks later, when he was in the clear, he took this amazing length of the table bank to the bottom left. So the thing is that Chang must not let the maestro run 5 or 6, because he is not a guy to consolidate. He will accelerate if you let him off the leash.
And he looks perfectly poised here to take his first rack. It's a race to 17, this final, for the most coveted title in the world. And Reyes just this 9. A little more difficult than he would have liked, though, Sid. No problems for Efren Reyes. And he saved everything. He's brought his A game to the table here. As soon as the sudden death eliminations were presented, Reyes was there. And his break here, nothing down. And if he does have a weakness again, that will be his. So dominant against Bustamante. Isolated the fact himself, though, that the Bustamante break could have crippled him at any time up against an opponent with not an amazingly powerful break, but generally gets 1 at least from the break. So it's Chang's, shall we say, competence against the genius of the master. For those of you just joining us, that push out that was just exercised there by Chang, perfectly legal after the break. Even had Efren potted a ball, he would be allowed to push out. No foul there, but that's the only time you can play that shot, is immediately following the break off. And Reyes could put Chang in. Had he made a ball off the break and pushed out, the option to the incoming player to put the other player in. But what a safety.
The chance of the double kiss there. Takes an eye like a laser beam to hit anyone like this. Just watch out. The double kiss was a possibility. Brilliant.
Well, it doesn't look like this cushion's available. The 8 takes that away. So he's just jumping over the 3 here. And not just jumping over it.
I was talking about them being thrilled in Manila.
have a look at this shot. Not just getting over the red 3, but judging it to pot it, and look at the position on the 2. So very early, the fireworks start.
Efren's brought his A game. This lad's working A+ at the moment. What a start to the World Final.
A little bit of a problem, Sid. Position to the 3. You can see he's on the 2, but he's got to weave a path through all these colors to get back for the 3. And he's got to avoid that brown 7 on the left-hand side. Straight through, missed the 7, a little bit aside. Looks like he's digging into it with bottom, and you'll see it loaded up here again.
Nearly scratched.
Well, that certainly wasn't where Chang wanted to finish with the white. He can count himself lucky that he's still on the table. And I think he can just get through to this. If he can, you might see him take a bank shot or a double, right center.
Yes,
if he can see enough.
Very crisp on bank shots. He's done 1 or 2 on the middle pockets that were brilliant. Too far south as he stuck it up. It's left an intermediate shot. The red goes onto the brown, bottom left.
Yes, Efren Reyes will be taking that on. But after such a great shot on the 1, Chang would love to have kept Reyes in his chair. Certainly for a longer period of time than he did.
Well, I hope all you millions of them in the UK are taking notes on this. It's one of the biggest curling games sport in the world. And we're sure the Pacific Rim are tuning in. Taiwan. And of course, the Philippines, who have been for some time the world's best at 4-man team events. But this singles for the biggest prize in the game. Oh, brilliant shot! Howsey nicely on the pink as well.
Yes, he had to straighten out the angle on that. He played that with a lot of left-hand English. To straighten it out off the cushion, Sid.
Well, you might be surprised at some of this cue and all you snooker players and billiard players and 8-ball players. It comes in like a viper with a bent tongue, the cue, but the strike is often lethal. Very loose action, the Filipinos hold the cue. Other people, much more stiff grip on the back arm, but this, it is a feather hold of the cue, as to say, as lethal as an asp.
Well, certainly of the 2, Reyes would be a lot more comfortable in a situation like this. He has been in major finals throughout his very esteemed career.
Began playing for money when he was 9 in a relative's pool room in a village called Mexico, Pampanga, and absolute national hero in the Philippines. Wouldn't like to think how many thousands there'll be at the airport if he wins this one when he gets back, Jim.
Well, they're all taking this in back in Asia. So they will know, as will we, the winner of this event. And Efren Reyes gets his nose in front, 2 racks to 1 against Ho Ping Chang.
Well, the puppy will have to make his bark as good as his bite against this man. Pool genius, Efren Reyes in this final. I think all the acclaim and the audience and the knowledge of the audience shown.
Possibility of the 2-9 here. A very quick ending to this.
Here we go for 4-2.
And in a blink of an eye, Chang pulls one back. Reyes, with all the adrenaline pumping, forgot the number 1 rule of 9-ball. Control off the break.
Chang trailing 4x to 5 at the table. Joined here by Jay Helford, co-commentator. Jay, what do you think of this match so far?
It's a nice close match. This is the way I'd like to see it. A lot of people thought Efren was going to run away with this match after what he did in the semifinals. Good break. Not much of a shot on the 2-ball. Looks like he can see the edge of the 2 ball, but he's shooting right at it, trying to cut the 2 ball down in the end pocket here. Very difficult shot here. Overcut it.
Jay, I think Chang generally has coped very, very admirably with this tension in the final. I think after Efren's semi-final, the crowd really expected him just to run away with this. But he's come out and he's making a fight of it, isn't he?
He definitely is. This guy's trying to win this match any way that he can. He's really playing at top of his game right now and putting a lot of pressure on Efren.
No shot to the 2 here. Efren looking to kick out.
Well, he's going to have to either kick off the end rail this way at the 2. Looks like he can hit straight at it. Hit the edge of the 2 ball. He's going to hit the high edge of the 2 ball. Send the cue ball down the table. Just like this. The critical part of this shot is where does he leave the 2 balls?
I think he's left that. I think Chang can get through and see enough of the 2 ball.
He can. He sure can. It's a lot better shot than he had before.
Chang checking very closely, so it must be tight.
It is tight. You can see now. The 7 has got him partially hooked. I think he can see enough of the edge of the ball to make it, though, John. And if he can make this ball, the rest of the rack is relatively easy.
That's right. All he needs to do is to bring the white out into the center of the table, take the 3 into the side.
Sure is spending a lot of time looking at this shot. Well, he's going to hit the edge of the 2 ball right there and shoot it right in the end. The question is, can he get by the 7 with the cue ball? He went rail first. Watch out, 9 ball.
Well, he wasn't going for that 9, but it would have been a very nice bonus if he had it. He was trying to put the 2 off of the cushion. He obviously didn't believe that he could see enough of the 2. Here you see him hitting the cushion first, trying to cut the 2 into the side bag, corner bag.
He was hooked on the 7 ball a little bit. Efren's going to try and make the 9 ball here, I think. Now, it's not as easy as it looks because the 9 is in the high side of that pocket. You must hit the top of the 9 to make it.
That's right. If he is going to go for the 9, there's a grave danger that he could scratch here. Well, I don't think we'll be seeing Ho Ping Chang miss this combination. This should be 5 each.
With the ball sitting like this, he's got the choice of playing the combination or the billiard. The billiard might be easier here, John. Coming off the edge of the 2, letting the cue ball run into the 9. I think that's what we're going to see. Just like that.
Very nicely played from Ho Ping Chang. Levels the match. It's a tie at 5 apiece. Here you can see that final billiard shot perfectly played to cut the 9 into the pocket.
Sent the 9 towards the corner pocket. Made a ball.
Well, the only shot he really has got here is to play the combination, isn't it? The 1 onto the 9. It's a tough shot, but you can see a nice powerful break, sending the 9 towards the corner. Kick from the 8, sending it close.
Again, there's a 2-way possibility here, John. He could play the combination, 1 down the table into the 9, or play a billiard, have the cue ball come off the side of the 1. Looks like he's playing the billiard. A little bit tough with the 1 right on the rail. If the 1 was off the rail a little bit more, the billiard would be more on.
That's right, Jay. The problem here would be the double hit if he's playing the billiard, and he doesn't want that. He needs to have clean contact on the 1.
Nicely done. Oh, my goodness. How did that ball stay up?
That is very unlucky. A great attempt, and the crowd appreciating the attempt there from Ho Ping Chang. Look at that ball. How close can you get?
It looked good all the way.
Now, what piece of magic are we going to see from Efren here? No easy shot on the 1. A deep draw onto the 9, a possibility, but a very difficult shot to play.
If he was a little closer to the 1 ball with the cue ball, the draw would be on. From that distance, it's a very precarious shot, and that 9 is buried in the hole. If anybody can figure out something here, it's Efren Reyes.
He's just looking at the combination, the normal combination, onto the 3 ball, cutting across the 3, trying to pot the 3 into the top right-hand pocket.
Problem with that shot is the cue ball goes right towards the side pocket.
Tough to stop the cue ball from scratching in the side pocket.
Shot the combination.
Well, I think he was quite worried about losing that cue ball. I think if the centre bag hadn't have been there, he would have got that combination. That was a reasonably straightforward combination. You would expect Efren to get that.
The other half of that shot that Efren was playing was to leave himself this bank combination on the 9. Chang will take it now. The 1's going. Why he didn't bank that 1 ball at the 9, I don't know. Because it was on.
That's a bad mistake from Chang there. He's decided just to take on the 1 into the corner bag. If that was his choice of shot, he really should have got it. A little bit of scrappy play from both players here. I'm sure it won't last long. Not with the class of these two.
Well, Efren had a difficult lie with that 1-3. But Chang, that was an unforced error. Efren's making a decision as to whether he wants to run all these balls or play for a combination on the 9.
Well, there's no real problem with running the balls. I think we'll certainly see him take the 4 and 5 and 6. It's a question of then whether he wants to play the 7 or play the 7 onto the 9. I'd be quite confident about Efren running the rack either way, I think, Jay.
Yeah, he's in real good shape here. We got a lot of pool to play tonight.
That's very true, Jay. It's a race to 17. Whoever hits that finishing line first is certainly going to deserve the title of 1999 World Professional Pool Champion.
Came a little short on the 6 ball here, John. This is more of an angle than he wanted.
A little too far maybe on the 7. Not too bad. He can just run this for a few inches.
And even though this 9 ball was buried in the pocket, he had to run all the balls to get to it. Got a little fancy there. He wanted to make them both in one shot. Get a little rise out of the crowd. Hooked on the 2 ball.
Efren looking, the crowd willing him into a combination on the 9 here.
This is a backwards angle combination, the hardest in the sport. You've got to hit this ball absolutely perfect. There is no margin for error.
But Jay, the crowd are going to go crazy if this 9 goes down.
Perfect.
Perfectly in. Efren Reyes thrilling this packed Cardiff International Arena crowd. Going into a 2-rack lead. He leads 7 racks to 5.
Well, now beer in a basket.
Beer and chips and a bit of curry sauce on top. That's beautiful, isn't it?
Settle down, please.
It's very, very, very thirsty work. Is pool supporting?
Oh, the break off. Got one off the break. It looks like he can get through to the 2. And he doesn't have to do anything special to drop on the 3 either.
No, Jim, it's a birthday present, this leave. I think even Sid could get the balls from here. Jim, what do you reckon?
Well, I don't want to get carried away, Steve.
No, perhaps you're right. Talk us through this, Sid, the positional side. You've seen a week and a bit of quality pool.
On the spot now then. Yeah, well, I'll come back. Sneak to the right hand side. Take that in the middle. Into the cushion. Come across for the green 6. This played with bottom right English, exactly like I do. In the Mason's Arms on a Friday night. And the 3rd team of the pubs. The 3rd team. Back to you for the simple bit, Esther.
Well, I've heard your pool commentaries over the years. When you first started commentating on 9-ball pool, you really brought too much of the 8-ball pool terms to the game. But now I think you sussed the game out down the rails a bit easier than it would be on a 8-ball pool table. And Chang showing there what his capers are of. Only 5 racks difference now, Sid.
Black run in. I think the yellow may pass the blue too.
Do you think that was a mistake, Jim? Efren Reyes taking, perhaps too much things for granted?
Well, it was a bit of a liberty, you said, Steve. He's playing so well, and confidence tends to breed courage. But again, you've got to be able to judge when to attack and when to defend. And Chang might certainly help Efren to rue that liberty that he took only scant few racks ago. And that was a great one that he just knocked in there. He's laid the foundation for victory already in this rack.
Mike LeBron there from the States with Steve Knight sitting on the tables where once the chances of the game were diced out.
Well, he can't afford that.
Chance still playing its part here in the World Championships. Reyes probably did not expect to get back in this rack, but here he goes, and he's quite capable of rolling through. Another 3 or 4 to the winning post.
Well, Sid, he shouldn't have got back in this rack. Chang did the hard work, and the position that he's just turned over to Reyes right now, might as well have put the Christmas wrap on this one. The 4 top left, and he's just got to stay over in the right-hand side. That 5 will pass to the bottom right corner.
Yeah, 1 minute you're running like a racing turkey. The next minute you're wrapped in foil at regular weight.
See, there you go. He's just played a shot that I wouldn't have played. And obviously trying to avoid that middle bump, Steve, that we've seen here.
Yes, that's right. And this guy's teaching every pool player in the game how to play positional play. I'm sure Steve Knight is sucking up the knowledge as quick as he can. Never in doubt, is it, with Efren Reyes? Never in doubt. Never gives himself the opportunity to lose that white ball.
He just keeps all the percentages working for him. And right now he's going to be 6 racks ahead. 6 racks clear again. He wants 4 more for the most prestigious title on this man's resume. Efren Reyes, 13-7 now ahead of Popeng Chang.
Here in Cardiff, and $60,000 American dollars, plus the total respect and acclaim of his peers.
Settle down, please.
Most of the players who came here 9 days ago have not gone home.
they have stayed to study the wily base magic of the wizard as he goes for glory.
Well, glory it is, and he's on the verge of it right now. He's starting to get the measure of the break. How do you like it? 7 racks behind, and your opponent's starting to hit him good. A little close to this too, but still got to fancy him to get it.
The balls are fairly open for a player of Efren Reyes' obvious ability. I'm not too sure actually. He said he has any peers to be quite. It's just this guy seems to be playing positional shots that no other players are playing. Just mentioning which route you were thinking of going and asking you earlier. I'm sure that if you asked me to try and predict Efren Reyes' shots, I'd get them wrong. His positional sense is different from the other players. He seems to go about his positional play much more common sense, but they're not so obvious.
For me, Steve, that's one of the features that really highlight this man's intellectual prowess around this table. Is the obvious to him doesn't appear obvious to anybody else, and yet when he plays the shot, you ask yourself, yeah, well, that makes a lot more sense. That makes it a lot easier.
It's been showing the Americans how to do it on their circuit since 1984, and it's very hard to read occasionally how much English he's putting on the ball, because when he addresses the cue, it's not straight back and forward, it jabs, it twists, but it always hits where he intends.
And he is on the verge of becoming a world champion. This 9. And down it goes, and Efren Reyes is but 1 rack away from becoming the 1999 professional World Pool champion.
Rack 25. Reyes to break, leading 16 racks to 8.
Well, by my reckoning, Jim and Steve, in Manila now, it's about 3:30 in the morning, but I bet there's nobody in bed. The man's a national hero, and they all want to know what happens now.
Look at that wad in the back pocket there.
Another look at the break-off. No friends on that occasion. On the spin. Stranger things have happened in smaller towns.
But look at this position, Jim. It's just not as accurate. It's not the most accurate positional play we've seen all week. And this guy knocked out one of the most accurate, Johnny Archer, early on. Perhaps Johnny Archer, if he's watching, he's thinking, I think I could have done a better job final than this.
The balls don't forget, do they?
Sometimes when you're playing positional play, once you lose a little bit of position, you get further out of position on the next shot. It gets worse and worse.
Well, that has to help his confidence. That's one of the better pots he's made, certainly within recent memory. I don't understand that one. He's left himself a much more difficult shot than he could have.
Forced to use the middle.
Well, you trade the situation, Sid, but he's just making it look so much more difficult than Reyes does.
And that could be it. A gift to Gimme. That reflected the general clumsiness in his positional play in that rack.
Yes, unbelievable how that ball stayed on the table, but it did. And the end is nigh.
No mistakes from Efren Reyes. He looks as casual as when he first started his first match in the group.
For the title, world champion, he's the king of the 9-ball ring, Efren Reyes. His cue raised in a victory salute. He'll be leaving Cardiff on cloud 9 tonight. Reyes is the champion of the world, $60,000. He'll be taken back to Manila.
To present the runner-up with his silver medal and his check for $30,000. He's from Chinese Taipei. Would you please welcome Hoping China? There can only ever be one winner. And the winner, with his gold medal, his check for $60,000, his official trophy, and the title of the World Professional Pool Champion, the Magician, Efren Reyes! There he is then, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest player in the history of pool. Pinaka Mangalina, the magician, Efren Reyes.